Curt Hennig, but to you people, I'm Mr. Perfect. And I know a lot of you people sitting there right now wonder what it's like to go through life without making any mistakes. No blemishes, no flaws, from head to toe, absolutely perfect. Yes, being perfect, it has its boring times, like a simple game of billiards. Well, fool to you common people. Like I said,
Hey, Curt Hennig fans, and hello and welcome to everybody. This is another episode of Nobody Beats Curt Hennig. Nobody. I am your host, Mrs. Witchy Perfect. So if you haven't realized or not, I tried to get the timing right on this. So you guys already saw the birthday bash. I hope you enjoyed that with all my special guests, even if some of them were late. That's okay. So I wanted to say that if you haven't seen the birthday bash, please check that out. Again, I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. I always have fun when I have friends on the show. But and again, the trivia quiz, I had to kind of tweak it because AI sort of. And it's the only thing I use AI for, like descriptions and cool trivia, because I think my trivia is like way too easy. But I tried to get some really hard questions in there, like Portland, stuff from Portland, and stuff from the AWA, of course. And I think everyone did an awesome job. But like I said, I tried to tweak it a little bit because AI was kind of repeating itself. So it was awesome. It was an awesome time. I hope you enjoyed that. Now let's get down to brass tacks. We are going to watch along. We have a special announcement. Now you guys already know this because, again, you're not going to see this till April. I'm actually recording this in March, but you guys won't see this until April 5th. So let's get right to it, shall we? As everyone knows, Demolition is going into the Hall of Fame. Great. Yay. Barry Darsow and Bill Eadie. Congratulations, you two. Very well deserved. I don't know why they weren't in sooner, but here we are with that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Excuse me for just a minute. All right. Sorry about that. Again, this is going to like hop in and out. It'll probably cut to the next scene. You guys won't even really notice. But I just had to kind of, I'll click on and off if I have to, cough or something, or hopefully I don't sneeze or whatever. But anyway, I wanted to show everybody my cool little blue rose in my hair. I bought some barrettes, trying to save up for a wedding, because, my man and I are, we're going to get married, but we haven't set a date yet. Again, we're still trying to save up for it. So, because he wants to give me the wedding of my dreams. So, that'll be coming soon. Don't ask me when is the wedding, because again, I don't know. But we are saving up for it. I'm trying to buy like little bits and pieces, here and there when I have extra money. So, of course, I have the candle that I want to use, or I can use this one. I thought that was pretty cool. And they're just candles, you can find them on Amazon for like no money at all. I like this one because I have a candle somewhere where it looks like a full bride and groom, but they don't sell those anymore. So I hope mine survived. Anyway, enough about me. But anyway, yeah. So saving up for that. And I bought that so that when we do get married, I can put like little blue roses in my hair. So I thought that was pretty cool. Zoom in if you can't see, obviously. Here, I'll make myself, there we go. Everyone can see that now. If you're on Rumble, if you're on YouTube, you can't see it. So click the link in the description field to go see my really cool barrette. It's a blue rose. Like I said, I love blue roses. I like black roses, but I don't think you should have black roses at a wedding. But I really do. It's fake, obviously. But I thought it was a cool barrette. I saw it on Amazon for very little money. It was like $9 for like 21 barrettes. So I was like, cool. Yeah, they're fake, but they're so cool. So yeah, I want to let everyone know that we're probably going to do some news to start. So like I said, we'll start with demolition, the news of demolition going into the Hall of Fame. So we'll start with them, and then we will move on to WWE has already given up on Royce Keys, who is not Danhausen. Oh shoot. Why am I drawing? Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs. So it looks like the WWE. I mean, where is Powerhouse Hobbs? I mean, Royce Keys. No offense, but I think he was just like a one-trick pony they had just for, the Royal Rumble. I mean, I hate to say that because, well, I haven't seen what I only got to see Powerhouse Hobbs or Royce Keys. I only got to see him for the Royal Rumble. I didn't get to see him, in a match or anything. Cause has anyone seen him in a match? Or did they take him off? Wasn't he in NXT or I'm not sure. But anyway, I didn't get to see anything other than the Royal Rumble. And I mean, it was okay, but like, I wouldn't say it was like a huge, knockout, drag out thing. I was more looking at Obafemi and what a beast he is and what a beast he's going to be. So I kind of was like paying more attention to Obafemi, but so if I didn't pay much attention to him, I do apologize. I'd like to see more of Royce Keys before I make my final judgment. But then, we're going to talk about like, has WWE already given up on him or like, where is he at? What's he doing? Did he get hurt? So we'll talk about that. And then our main event is Curt and Larry Hennig versus Nick Bockwinkel and Saito. So we are going to watch along to that today. Again, if you would like to see this entirety and see my cute little Brett, please click the links in the description field. And if you don't want to subscribe to Rumble, you absolutely do not have to. You can just watch me. You will not be able to comment, like, or share. You won't be able to like and comment, I think, but you have to, if you want to comment and you want to like, you definitely will have to subscribe with Rumble, but you do not have to subscribe to watch. I have done it before. If you do want to subscribe through Rumble, you want to follow me on Rumble, again, all you have to do is make an account and you can follow me. Follow my channel, Nobody Beats Curt Hennig Nobody, and I'll be there on Rumble where you get to see my beautiful face. Please, if you do decide to subscribe or follow me on Rumble, please make sure you are following Nobody Beats Curt Hennig Nobody to get the latest updates on videos and other updates for me. I have some great things coming up. Like I said, you guys already saw the birthday bash. So I will be doing a birthday bash for me. My birthday is actually on a Monday. And so I'm going to make it where everyone sees it. So, everyone will get the video on my birthday, just like I'm going to do for Curt Hennig's birthday. Everyone will see Curt. Obviously, you saw the birthday bash. Both of them came out on the 28th. So YouTube's came out on the 28th, and so did Rumble's. Okay. So you guys will see my birthday bash on April 20th. It is a Monday. You will see my birthday bash on April 20th. Everybody, YouTube will see it. Rumble will see it. So just look for that when we do get there. Hopefully I will be able to get the guys on again. For that, I will have to do that sometime either late March or early April. Because let's just say April is a very busy month for me. Because I am just really, really busy. I'm very, very busy. In April, I have jury duty. And I also have, that's like April 13th, I got to go in for jury duty, local jury duty, of course. And April 8th, I have to get my driver's license renewed, and it's my father's birthday, and I'm taking him out for his birthday. So everybody, I'm busy in April and March. I'm always busy in April and March because March 14th, now I'm recording this as of the 7th of March, but the 14th and 15th, obviously, the 14th, we're having family pictures done. We did have family pictures done. I forgot this is in the, I got to remember that this has to be in the past. So, so we had pictures taken, family pictures taken. And the 15th is when I recorded the birthday bash. So that's, and my son goes to a birthday party too. So it's like, 1 o'clock, I did the show and my son was at a birthday party at 1:15. So very busy. My March is very busy. And then coming up on the 28th of March, of course, not coming up for you because you guys will see this on the 5th. So it would already be past. But March 28th, I actually have pictures with my son. He's going, not family pictures, but we always do, it's the Easter Bunny, but I call it the O-Star Bunny because I am Wiccan, for those who don't know, or those who aren't sure. Yes, I'm not Christian. I have never claimed to be, but anyway, March 28th, I know when everything comes out, right? The birthday bash will come out, or did come out because like I said, it's already passed. You guys will see this on April 5th. I do have pictures with the O-Star Bunny that my son is going to do. I don't know. I may jump in there for one of the pictures. I did when my son had pictures with Santa back in December. It was like November, December when I think it was like early December when we got those pictures done with Santa. And I just kind of hopped in for one. I'm just like, yeah, I got makeup on. What the heck? I always put like a little makeup on so I look pristine, right? It looks like I have no eyeshadow, but then it kind of does. Like you can tell like there's shadow over here. So that's good. At least it looks like I have makeup on. But not too much, like some people overdo it. And I'm just like, I don't want to be one of those people that just, it's like wall to wall makeup and I look so fake and I look like I don't smile and I don't have rosy cheeks. Naturally, I do. Yes, I have a lot of rosy cheeks, right? Anyway, okay, so let's get down to brass tacks because I've made all my announcements now. We're going to talk about, James Romero is going to talk about Demolition going into the Hall of Fame. Again, congratulations. Very well deserved. Should have been sooner, I think, but that's my opinion. All right, so here we go. We're going to watch a little of this because this is 10 minutes. The other one is 11 minutes. So, and then we have our main event, which is like 18 minutes. So, altogether, we're looking at probably, like I said, a little over an hour. I kind of like to keep these either a little less than an hour or a little more than an hour. But I don't want to like go an hour and a half because I think you guys would get a little bored with me. But anyway, so I just want to make announcements first. Now we're going to watch Demolition has made it into the Hall of Fame. Take it away, James.
Hello, everybody. James here, and big news for WWE Hall of Fame fans. One of the all-time legendary tag teams finally is getting an induction. Axe and Smash of Demolition. Now, they've wanted this for an incredibly long time. Both have been very open about believing that they should be inducted. They deserve the accolade. Many fans have been saying the exact same thing. How can you have a WWE Hall of Fame without some key guys and that are still outstanding? And Demolition are pretty much top of that list. The reason why it's taken so long for them to be inducted is its own story that I'll get into in a few minutes. But about 30-40 minutes ago, as I record this video, The Undertaker played this. Well, actually, he talked to him over whatever it was, stream. So here we go.
Esteemed honor to welcome you to Demolition, Axe and Smash into the 2026 class of the WWE Hall of Fame.
Now, let's get to the reaction in a second. But I have to say that The Undertaker is now officially the dude who is telling everybody that they're going into the WWE Hall of Fame. So he's definitely picking them at this point.
Yeah, he's the dude. He did something again.
Congratulations, guys.
Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. It's a huge honor. We'll be there.
Awesome, man. Congratulations, guys. Well deserved. I got some news.
There you go.
Very well
Sorry,
deserved.
it loops. It's Instagram. What can I say? So let's just go to the Twitter announcement as well, just to make it all official. As announced by Undertaker, one of the greatest tag teams of all time make history once again as Axe and Smash of Demolition enter the WWE Hall of Fame as members of the class of 2026. Now, let's go to the website because WWE.com has written an article about it. But I'm going to pick apart something that they've put here. One of the greatest tag teams of all time, starting here, will make history once again as Axe and Smash of Demolition enter the WWE Hall of Fame as members of the class of 2026, as announced by The Undertaker. 2 words describe the ultimate goal of Demolition: pain and destruction, which is, of course, their theme song. Clad in black leather and spikes, which I believe Bill Eadie went to, I guess, a S&M shop and bought them. So if you thought they looked a bit funky dressed like that, it's because, it was off the rack of like a Fredericks of Hollywood or whatever it was. They steamrolled into WWE from parts unknown in the late 1980s and made it painfully clear that they were going to demolish any tag team that stood in their path. The pair bulldozed the tag team division, etc. They captured the world championships at WrestleMania 4. I think they held it 3 times, the original classic greatest of all time tag team championship with the, classic belt design and everything. And one of the most iconic title runs in history. True, Axe and Smash dominated WWE for the next 478 days as champions. Yeah. Right. So that was true up until, I think, about 2015, 2016. When, and I believe this is the case, around 2014, 2015, Konstantin Kairos was messaging old people who used to work for WWE in one form or another. And they were asking wrestlers to be part of a class action lawsuit regarding concussions against WWE. Dozens and dozens of wrestlers signed up for it, from Sabu and Shane Douglas to loads and loads of people signed up. Anyway, Demolition did as well. And I don't know if it was coincidence or not, but obviously that's all long forgotten and forgiven now, thankfully, because I don't even really think it should have mattered that much at the time. But when that happened and they put their names down, I don't think it was a coincidence. Then all of a sudden, the New Day ended up breaking that 478-day tag title run from Demolition. And it happened like the same year, I think, or at least, rolled into the next year. I'd have to look at the stats, but that's essentially the story, that it seemed to be not really a coincidence. And they just wanted to get rid of Demolition as the longest reigning tag champions of all time. But best I know, actually, I do know this. The New Day didn't actually hold the same tag championship belts as Demolition did, because the Demolition version, the classic version we all know and remember, of a certain age at least, went from like 1972 to 2010. And then those championships were discarded in favor of the WWE Tag Team Championship lineage, which started in 2002 on the SmackDown roster during the original brand split in 2002. So there you go. The record still stands forevermore that the original tag titles, the world tag titles, Demolition, are undefeated. They held it for the longest time ever, and they always will, because they don't even exist anymore, those belts. So anyway, very briefly, creating Demolition. Now, Don Morocco has actually said that he threw out an idea for like WWF's own version of the Legion of Doom. So many people were doing it at the time with the face paint, whatnot. Now, Demolition, the knock on them was that they were Legion of Doom knockoffs, which is the knock on them, I guess. But the fact is that they weren't. They were so much more. Yes, they had the face paint. Yes, they had the attitude and everything. But they were by far different enough. And to be honest, the Legion of Doom knocked off Mad Max like everyone else knocked off Mad Max 2 at the time. But they definitely had their own flavor, their own style, their own hard-hitting ways. They did some great interviews in their own style. They were really not the knockoffs that, for example, Ultimate Warrior and Sting were as Power Team USA or whatever they were called. Now, the original Demolition was Bill Eadie and Randy Colley. And if you remember Randy Colley, he was one of the Moondogs. So they were put together. They had weird different face paint at the time. And after like, I don't know, a week or two or just a loop or whatever it was a very short amount of time that even though that he shaved his beard and did the face paint, the fans started chanting Moondog at Randy Colley. So straight off the bat, they knew it wasn't going to work. Not with Randy there as well. He was one of the original two. So they got rid of him, and in comes Barry Dorso, who was, at the time, Crusher Khrushchev. He was working for Jim Crockett Promotions as one of the Russians, and he leapt over and filled the studded trunks and face paint and that weird kind of vesting. I asked them once, and I had to say, you know that ring at the back of, like, the outfit? Because, like, the leather strap deals were held together like a ring at the front and a ring at the back, like a Sonic ring. And I was like, did they ever hurt when you bumped on them? They went, no, which I found the biggest surprise. But there you go. I wouldn't take that risk. So from 86 onwards, Demolition were kind of the team in the WWF. And keep in mind, this was like a snake pit of like the best tag teams in the world, mostly in the WWF, you know, in history, because there were tons in NWA and elsewhere as well, Rock and Roll Midnights, etc. But your Hart Foundations, your British Bulldogs, your Killer Bees, I like the Killer Bees, your Rougeos, etc. There were so many great tag teams, yet they were still on top, seemingly more often than they weren't at the time. They were perennial champions. Now, Crush ends up joining in 1990, shortly after WrestleMania 6. They also subtly start turning heel at this point as well. And the reasoning was on screen is that Crush joined because then they would have a 3-on-2 advantage and they can, you know, run in and run out on each other like Freebird style, or even, you know, Killer Bee style, since they were similar enough in size and outfits and face paint and whatnot. But the real reason was that Bill Eadie had suffered not a heart attack, as was previously thought, but he'd suffered an allergic reaction to shellfish that mimicked the symptoms of a heart attack. So Vince McMahon and the WWF got cold feet on using him. They used Axe really sparingly, or at least like in six-mans occasionally, I guess. And then for the next 6 months, he was pretty much pushed to the background. And then it was Smash and Crush going forward. And as we all know, at Survivor Series 1990, that was Bill Eadie's last day, Demolition Axe, and he just couldn't be bothered putting the hair gel, the goop in his hair, and that's why he had such lovely hair at Survivor Series 1990. That was his last day, and he was kind of done with it, so he left, and Bill ended up going to the Indies for a while, sort of the burgeoning Indies, what was formerly known as, I guess, outlaw shows at the time, and he ended up, I guess, illegally doing the Demolition gimmick again with another tag person. I've got to find who it is. Here he is. It's Richard Charland, and it's Demolition Blast that they were doing in the Indies until the WWF sent, in fairness to them, a cease and desist, which I think is more than fair in that one. Anyway, back in the WWF by mid-1991, Demolition had pretty much been phased out, really. Smash and Crush were, best I remember, absolutely pretty much destroyed by Katao and Tenryu at WrestleMania 7, and people didn't even know who these dudes were, you know, in the States at that time. And their last match as Demolition in the WWF, as Smash and Crush anyway, was in September of 1991. And for the few months beforehand, they were pretty much house show exclusives, losing to other people. So the original Axe and Smash actually reformed Demolition in 2007 on the Indies, and they wrestled together all the way up to about 2017. So far more tenured than I guess people might have realized. But in the WWF in the glory days, they were there for a good 5 years. 4 of them were really were glory days as well. So anyway, both guys are, and I've interviewed them both, absolutely like as nice fellas as you're ever going to meet. They're great guys in wrestling. Everybody speaks really highly of them. And, you know, with Bill Eadie being the mass superstar and Demolition Axe, most people don't get lucky to have one character that hits. And the Mongols, there's 3. You know, most people in wrestling don't hit gold once with a character, and he hit gold 3 times for different characters at least. I might even be forgetting one. And Barry Dorso as well. He had the Repo Man, Crusher Khrushchev, the golfing guy, Blacktop Bully. But, you know, they're always going to be Axe and Smash to us, definitely. So, once again, thoroughly deserved. Way too long. Well, my video's way too long, but way too long in the making. They should have been in many, many years ago, quite frankly. And best of luck to them. Hope they enjoy it. Just one of the best.
Okay. Excuse me. We're going to stop sharing there. So my thoughts on that is, again, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, James. Very well deserved for Axe and Smash of Demolition. Again, should have been earlier. Don't know why they hold grudges or why Vince holds grudges, even though, I mean, it was a lawsuit and a lot of wrestlers came out of that era, especially the Attitude Era, and a little bit before when they would take full-on headshots with the chairs. So kudos to Demolition, and very well deserved, as I said. So now we're going to move on to where is Royce Keys? Where is Powerhouse Hobbs? Has anyone seen him lately? Maybe we should put him on a milk carton. Okay. Here we go. And tell us where Royce Keys is there, James.
Well, James here. Now, Powerhouse Hobbs, now known as Royce Keys, made his WWE debut in the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia some 5.5 weeks ago, the late January, and ever since then, pretty much nothing since. So that was about 5.5 weeks ago, right? It was late January, and I don't particularly see Royce Keys coming back to WWE or making a debut on the main roster, let's say, until maybe WrestleMania time, where he might be thrown in a battle royal, for example. So everybody gets some practice in front of a WrestleMania crowd for the people, I guess, who weren't important enough for the creative, I suppose, to have an actual proper match on the main card. But that is a complete guess, by the way. I don't know anything insider about that. But bar an appearance on Stephanie McMahon's podcast, the champion of VPNs herself, there has been absolutely no urgency to get him on TV whatsoever, which is kind of strange. So to recap, Will Hobbs did the unthinkable in AEW, and that was to remain on television and while holding a belt as his AEW contract was about to end, which is really incredible considering that Tony Khan nearly always removes wrestlers when he gets wind of the fact that they may not re-sign. So he just kind of disappears them off the face of the planet pretty much, sometimes for months, sometimes for over a year. And even more than that is that Tony Khan actually made Will Hobbs a really handsome offer to stay with AEW. Not a top-level contract, but something that would have drastically altered his bank account, let's say. So he was going to make some pretty darn big money for what he was going to do. But that's probably the theory why Tony Khan kept him on TV, because he was quite confident that Hobbs was going to re-sign. But Hobbs said, no, thank you. And because AEW hadn't really particularly done anything super of note with him in nearly 6 years he'd been with the company, he just thought, well, he might as well try his luck in WWE, because the times are ticking for everybody, especially in Hobbs' case, because he's not 35, he's 41 apparently. And people are also guessing that he signed with WWE for less money as well. It makes sense because WWE, very much over AEW and Tony Khan, favors the more muscled up guys. Look at Obafemi, for example, who WWE are fully behind in the road to WrestleMania. But WWE do the surprise, although it's not really much of a surprise if you're paying attention, I guess, debut of Hobbs at the Royal Rumble. Now, Hobbs' name disappears off the wall and it is replaced by Royce Keys. Two interesting things about that. One of them is, why would you pick the name Royce? I know why you picked the name Royce Keys. I still maintain it's a terrible name for a wrestler. But two, in the replay of the Royal Rumble now, if you go and see it, it never says Will Hobbs' name. They've cut out that bit and now it just says Royce Keys. So apparently that was just for a few weeks now. But WWE seems to be having a tough time effectively debuting former AEW wrestlers, if nothing else, as of recent on their own TV. I mean, just look at Danhausen from this past weekend at Elimination Chamber. WWE, to their credit as well, earnestly threw everything they could to make it as big and impactful an entrance and debut as possible, only to forget to then consider that maybe some 20% of the crowd in the Chicago crowd had actually even heard of Danhausen really in the first place. So it wasn't the best place to debut him, although they really were putting the effort in for it. But at least 20% of that crowd in Chicago Elimination Chamber did recognize Danhausen, because the amount of people who recognized Royce Keys striding down to the ring to the Rumble match in Saudi Arabia was about 0%. And that is because AEW programming isn't broadcast in Saudi Arabia. Now, I'm sure the odd fan will be keeping up, beyond WWE. But to be honest, there aren't really that many WWE fans in Saudi Arabia if the evidence of not being able to get anywhere near close to a sellout for the Royal Rumble is anything to go by. But at least Danhausen in his case, WWE immediately followed up on Raw with a backstage promo and pretty much salvaged what may have been lacking in the, I guess, not the planning as far as the execution, but the planning of where they did it. With Danhausen's debut, Danhausen had, some great lines. He did a backstage segment with Adam Pearce on the Judgment Day, and probably, hopefully, at least set up a storyline with him and the Judgment Day being cursed going forward. Now, Royce Keys didn't get anything.
I mean, come on. If you're going to use Danhausen, instead of using him for comic relief, let him wrestle. Of course, to be honest, I wouldn't trust anybody to, especially Danhausen. Anyone who came from AEW doesn't know how to wrestle to begin with. Again, this is my opinion, guys. So trigger warning for any of those people who like AEW and think it's real. No, trigger warning for anyone who likes AEW. Again, this is all my opinion. Okay. But if you're going to use Danhausen, use him properly. The crap that he was doing in AEW, don't do that again. That makes me like cringe almost every time I hear, oh, well, he did a backstage segment and he cursed the Judgment Day and boogie, boogie, boogie. I'm sorry, guys. Don't do that. Do something else with Danhausen. Don't do just give him a whole new gimmick. That's what I'm saying. Like, why does he have to do the same bull crap he was doing in AEW? Why can't you just give him another gimmick and make him a better wrestler? Don't put him on their main roster. Put him in NXT and let him figure it out. Let him find a whole new identification for himself, a whole new gimmick. I just think what they're doing with Danhausen is I'm sorry, guys. I can't get into it. I can't. I'm just like, oh gosh. I can't. I just can't.
On mainstream WWE television after the Rumble run, apart from plugging him as a guest on Stephanie McMahon's podcast. That's the only time he's been on TV really since. Now, I was thinking after kind of being dwarfed by guys like Brock Lesnar and such, WWE might end up sticking Keys in like a Jeff Cobb kind of way, or giving him the Jeff Cobb treatment. Essentially, change the guy's name, shoehorn him somewhere on the roster, hope he catches on down the line, but really he's just there. But Keys didn't even get that, at least not so far, because although it has been established that he is part of the SmackDown roster, which is really great for him because now he's making at least $350,000 per year, especially important as, like Jeff Cobb, he is quite a few years older. He's in his 40s now, that people thought he was when he was in AEW. And you got to make that money, got to make that bag while your body still holds up. But then there was a report that was really poorly framed, actually. I'm just going to show it up for you now. And misused to create news stories claiming that WWE had no creative plans for Royce Keys. So this is WrestleVotes kind of putting the story straight. Thanks for putting this out, Sean. So Sean Ross Sapp said there was a ton of bad framing on the Hobbs aggregation. WrestleVotes said they didn't have an update. So this is what they said, WrestleVotes. We were asked during our live Q&A show if we had heard an update on creative plans for Royce Keys. The answer was no, nothing. That does not translate to WWE having nothing for Royce Keys. Simply listening to the podcast would reveal that. In fact, on the contrary, we did have a source tell us how much Stephanie enjoyed her time with him during the recent filming of her show, What's Your Story? So now that might well be the case, that there is no update on Royce Keys, but a lot of websites and aggregate news websites who don't get the news themselves, they rely on, a few people and then sort of collate it all after the fact, is that yes, that may well have been true that WrestleVotes didn't say that they had no plans for him. But to be honest, that might as well be true, at least in the short term, because Keys has been going to WWE SmackDown every single week, apparently, since the Rumble. And as of the past 3 weeks, more often than not, actually, in like the 5 weeks or so since the Rumble, he has been wrestling on the shows, but in dark matches. So this was a few weeks ago. So this was in Dallas. So this is 13th of February. He defeated Nathan Frazier. The next week, I believe, I'm right, in Sunrise, Florida. That was a good house for him as well, over 11,000. Royce Keys defeats Chris Sabin. And then the week after, which was past Friday in Louisville, Kentucky, Royce Keys defeated Alex Shelley. So once again, more often than not, he's appearing in dark matches where he wins. And then I guess he just kind of goes home before the opening credits roll on SmackDown. I don't know. Maybe he sticks around and eats more of the catering, who knows? But while the WrestleVotes report wasn't implying that WWE creative had nothing for him, it certainly does seem like WWE doesn't really have much of an idea at this point what to do with the guy. Because today, Cody Rhodes, his real-life friend, since they were both in AEW together, said on his podcast the following: "I'm almost looking for us to get some jacked up bodybuilder dudes again," Cody said on his podcast. "Real 90s guys, ones that all the boys can't stand. Just somebody like, look at that look, and then we all have to figure out how to do it. I would say it's missing, the old, just legit bodybuilder type. He looks great." I heard this term the other day. Somebody was describing how at WWE you may not be in shape, but everyone who is in shape has an athletic build. I hate the term athletic build. I know it's not going to happen, but I just want one bodybuilder back in the mix. Just one full-blooded bodybuilder. You look at him, brother is going to tear his triceps just getting to the ring. We don't have those anymore. The bodybuilders are dinosaurs. They went away. And apart from the fact that I completely agree with Cody Rhodes.
Well, I agree too, but I mean, the reason why I don't want bodybuilders back in the WWE or back in wrestling is because most of the bodybuilders that they had were just that. They were just bodybuilders. They didn't know how to wrestle. They weren't second generation like Curt was. I mean, Curt Hennig had an athletic build. And a lot of people looked down on him and said, well, he couldn't carry the company. Bull crap, he couldn't carry he lasted longer in this business than most of the bodybuilder guys. Because the bodybuilder guys didn't know how to wrestle. Two, I mean, if you hear Curt in several interviews, he said, work on the wrestling first. And then, if you have the body, there's nothing but going down with the body, right? Because the body will break down eventually as you have more years in wrestling. So it's better to have an athletic build and be able to know how to wrestle and know the business than it is to just start with the body, right? So I totally disagree. I don't, in that part, only that part of it. Okay. Yes. I don't want to see these tiny little guys, but if you think back, Curt was not small. He was not, he was built, but he was built more as an athlete. He didn't have oversized muscles, not until he became in his 40s. But he already knew the business inside and out. The problem with the 90s bodybuilders is they were just bodybuilders. They didn't know anything about wrestling. They didn't know anything about the wrestling business. Ultimate Warrior was hurting people. I know that he hurt Rick Rude once. And trust me, and by the time he got back to the dressing room, I mean, the Ultimate Warrior could only have 1 to 2 minute matches because he was already blown up by then, or what they call blown up. He was already blown up by then. So again, I'm not trying to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm just saying that the Ultimate Warrior's physique was very nice, but it was more, I look more towards guys like Rick Rude, Curt Hennig, who again had that athletic build. I mean, Rick was a bodybuilder, but he also knew wrestling. He knew he had the gimmick. He had the ladies man gimmick, that kind of thing. And he was a tough guy outside the ring. I wouldn't want to mess with Rick Rude. But the thing, and they would always say that, Warrior was so exhausted that he would pass out in the dressing room and guys would just literally walk all over him. Not walk all over him, but walk over him. They would step over him. And they wouldn't even bat an eye because, again, there's nowhere but down with the body because, again, eventually it will break down. So, yeah, you can have a magnificent body or whatever or be a bodybuilder. Does not mean you can wrestle or should be in the wrestling business. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah, we should get some more guys who look like bodybuilders but also know how to wrestle and don't get blown up as much, okay? So that's all I'm saying about the bodybuilders that they're talking about. Let's make sure that they know how to wrestle first and they don't get blown up when doing, if they're going to do a 10-minute match, they can't get blown up. Okay. It's kind of hard to see. Like they can only do 1 to 2 minute matches because they get blown up and, kind of like Goldberg. Goldberg didn't know how to wrestle. And, he only had like 1 minute matches because he only had 3 moves that he could do. Again, bodybuilders need to learn the business of wrestling first. Learn the business of wrestling first, and then you can move on to that other stuff. Just food for thought for everybody. Okay. We'll watch a little bit more of this, and then we'll get to our main event.
With a sentiment, you just want some freaky dudes. I mean, apart from like Ryback and a couple of others, there's not been many like freaky bodybuilder types on the main roster in quite a while. But what I'm reading from that, and just in case you're wondering, here is behind the scenes of Roy Keese's WWE debut. This is the day of Royal Rumble, and here he is hugging Cody Rhodes, who is absolutely a good friend of Royce Keys, Will Hobbs. So I'm getting from Cody Rhodes's words there that, apart from the fact that he likes Hobbs, that I think that he is almost hoping that somebody's going to pick up on that and say that he's actually meaning Will Hobbs. He's meaning Royce Keys. He is here already. And he's almost saying, I know it's not going to happen, but it's like, why not? Royce Keys is right there. He's on the dark matches. He's sat around in catering and going home early because no one's doing anything with him at this point. This is kind of why I think, even though WrestleVotes didn't.
But he's also, not only is he, in catering because they don't know what to do with him. I'm going to actually stop sharing there. But I also think that, no one's doing anything with him because I don't know if they're seeing anything. I mean, he's doing these dark matches and stuff. And yeah, he's friends with Cody. So Danhausen is friends with CM Punk, and they think that's why Danhausen is now in WWE, because he was friends with Punk in AEW. The thing is, when you come from AEW, you don't know how to wrestle. So I don't think they should bring people from AEW over to the main roster right away. Maybe stick him in NXT and let's see how he does for a few years. I think, what's his name? Alexis King, who is Brian Pillman Jr., is still in NXT, as far as I know, I hope. And they haven't done anything with him. His father was phenomenal. I think he was a great wrestler. He was a great personality. I just think he had a lot of personal problems that I hope, Brian Pillman Jr. doesn't have. But again, I would like to see more of Danhausen wrestling and Danhausen too. But the point is, I don't think they brought these people over because they know how to wrestle. Because no offense, when you're in AEW, you don't know how to wrestle. Again, trigger warning for my AEW people. I'm sorry. This is just my opinion. You can skip this part and go to the main event. Okay. Hopefully they'll have little, things where you can just forward past all this. But anyway, because I'm trying not to offend my audience, but then I'm trying to speak the truth that I believe is the truth. And that's, if you came to, the only reason why I think you would leave AEW and go to WWE is because you have friends in high places. Okay. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you have friends in high places. And that's the only reason why you are on that main roster, because what's her name? Something May. Mariah May. Mariah May was in AEW and she's in NXT. So all I'm saying is don't, and I don't know if she had any friends in high places. I'm not saying that Mariah May should be on the, main roster. I'm not saying she should be in NXT. What I'm saying is, if you have these friends, so if you're friends with Cody, you're friends with CM Punk, whatever, I just think that even though you're friends with them, you should literally just go to NXT, because just because you're in AEW does not mean you know how to wrestle. And all these dark matches, I haven't seen any of the dark matches, so of course nobody has, unless someone's recording them and putting them on like WWE's YouTube. No one's really seen them. So I would like to see more of Royce Keys. Show me what he's got. But you put him in dark matches and you aren't doing anything with him. Is that because he's friends with Cody? Is it because he's an AEW guy? What is it? I mean, you put Mariah May, I think that's her name, in NXT. So let them go to NXT and let them earn their stripes, just like everybody else in NXT. Look at Obafemi. Obafemi was in NXT. I'm not saying he was an AEW guy. I'm just saying he, earned his stripes and he worked his way up to the main roster. Okay, so now we're going to go to our main event because we're over time anyway. Get that up for you. So if you would like to comment or make a comment, you absolutely can do that. You don't have to just listen to my commentary. Leave a comment in the comment section and we'll get to that. Again, nothing's off limits. If they do delete the comment, it is not me. I want to just make that really clear for everybody. It is not me who is deleting those comments. I do not do that. I believe in free speech and everyone has a right to say their piece. Even if you disagree with me, that's fine. If you disagree with the show, that's fine too. But YouTube doesn't feel the same way about some things. So I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about YouTube and their censorship. That's none of my business. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in where platforms are free to do what they want. So if you do get your comment deleted, I'm very, very sorry. That was not me. That was YouTube. All right, here we go. Curt and Larry Hennig versus Nick Bockwinkel and Mr. Saito. Go.
Out of Beverly Hills, California, the former heavyweight champion of the world, here's Nick Bockwinkel. And their opponents out of Robbinsdale, Minnesota, the double axe attack at 235 pounds, Curt Hennig. And at 344 pounds, Larry the Axe Hennig. 1 fall, 45-minute time limit. Your referee, Joe Fiorino.
Welcome to
Wrestling fans, please note, this is the final occasion for TSN Wrestling in this time period. Starting January 5th, professional wrestling will be seen Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
To bring you what should be an absolute dandy. Lord Blair's The Axe Attack, Larry and Curt Hennig. I don't know of another father-son team in professional wrestling today.
No, there used to be a lot. There are not too many. Of course, there were Vern Gagne and his son, Greg. They didn't tag team that much together, but I can tell you, when a father sees his son in trouble and vice versa, the blood begins to flow, the adrenaline shoots, and you are ready to murder. But Nick Bockwinkel, not long ago, he was the world heavyweight champion. And then we have Mr. Saito, Mr. Torture, a man from Tokyo, Japan. Bockwinkel, a United States citizen, German name, Bockwinkel. And then we have the Hennigs, Larry and Curt.
Bockwinkel and Saito, a deadly combination. Brains, agility. Between them, they must know every hold since the Greeks invented this sport. Curt Hennig starting for the axe attack against Mr. Nick Bockwinkel.
You know, it's not too many people that like to wrestlers can fit into tag team wrestling. You must be able to tag out at the right time. Don't be afraid someone's beating you up to tag out and you want to come in there and still fight. Get out, tag, and get a fresh man in there. That's the basic winning combination of a tag team combination.
Well, of course, the Hennigs with that father and son association. Saito and Bockwinkel have not been together that long, but they've shown us they know what they're doing. Referee's spreading them up now. They're looking one another over. Nick Bockwinkel and Curt Hennig, absolutely no love lost between these two gentlemen.
Well, I'll tell you that Mr. Saito, just with his feet alone, he can kick a brick wall down. And with his hands, even more.
Body slam Bockwinkel. He'll do it again. Nick Bockwinkel working on Curt Hennig. Wait a minute. And that evens it up. Larry loves it in the corner. Larry Hennig. I know. Looks down at us, yells, that's my boy. Doggone right. The double axe attack of Larry and Curt Hennig. And Bockwinkel didn't like that. He tags out, and now we'll see what Curt Hennig can do against Mr. Saito.
Bockwinkel is very smart. Nick Bockwinkel, he didn't want to come right back and try and fight young Larry Hennig. He just went out and tagged Mr. Saito. Bockwinkel has been in every ring in the world, wrestling, Germany, in Japan, all over Australia, New Zealand, Hawaii, France, US of A, and Canada.
Saito tried to throw out of it. Hennig took him right with it. Saito breaks the hold. Didn't get the leg scissor he wants. Larry Hennig taunting him in the corner.
Excuse me, Larry. You may be looking in a moment at a man who could become the world heavyweight champion not too long from now, a couple, 3, 4 years, maybe less. Larry Hennig. He's built like his father. He's tough. I talked to him in the locker room. He's a super young man. A man you'd be very proud of to have as a son. And the professional wrestling people should be very proud that he is a professional wrestler.
He's got a problem right now. Mr. Saito put that arm bar on him, tagged out. In comes Nick Bockwinkel, and he resumes the hold, working on the arms of Curt Hennig. Now, Lord clears, is there a reason that they're going for Curt's arms rather than perhaps his leg, perhaps a head hold, or is it just an opportunity presented itself there and they took advantage of it?
Bockwinkel's trying to pull his arm out of its socket. It's as simple as that. And you're right. They could be working on the arm. Bockwinkel's foot is planted across the ear, underneath the armpit. And notice Bockwinkel is in his own corner. That's the secret of tag team wrestling. He's going to keep that young man away from his father as long and as much as he can. What? In comes Saito. Comes in.
Oh, now he jumps in there. No tag made. Let's see what happens here.
The referee was pushing out the axe. No tag. In comes Saito. Cunning and did it.
Mr. Saito resumes that same hold, that arm bar. Look at this man, Mr. Saito, from Japan, 249 pounds, strong as a bull.
That's a good shot of the man.
Oh, excellent shot of it. Strong as a bull. He can kick a wall down, knock a wall down with his hands, or his head, they tell me. He breaks boards with his head
and his feet
and his elbows. And he has got a murderous hold now on young Curt Hennig. Curt Hennig, the smallest man in the ring at 235. His father, Larry, the biggest at 340. Bockwinkel at 248. Saito at 249. Okay. Now, Larry,
the camera missed that. Bockwinkel pushed the forehead. No tag. Plus the chain. And the fans are getting very, very annoyed.
Well, Larry Hennig is making this possible by coming in and going after the referee, but as you said before,
not the referee's fault.
Very difficult for a father not to son go through this kind of thing.
He has to stay out. There's a count. 1.
Curt Hennig working his way up. Now, he's got to get on his feet to get out of this thing and have any chance at all.
Watch him. He's amazing. He gets a chop. Down he goes. Not quite. He's holding on to the rope. The referee has to break it. Down he goes. Saito about 15 feet away from his father. The axe. A chop to the throat. Grabbing his man. Belting him in the corner. Keeping him in their corner.
This chop that Saito applies is devastating. Devastating. Look at this. But he's getting a little too close to Larry Hennig now. He better watch that.
Now he's swinging to the far corner. Over to Bockwinkel.
There's the knee.
He's heading home. Saito snatches him, pulls him back with a front face lock. Bockwinkel is a legal tag. And a big kick to the midsection as Nick Bockwinkel grabs the front face lock. Hooks his man. Spins him around. Now he's trying to reach his father. He's pushing. He's trying to push as he did on the football field. He's digging in. He's trying to get over and touch his dad. He wants to touch the father, the big axe to come in. He's nearly there. There goes Saito. Luring the referee. The referee's going to do it. There's the tag. The referee didn't see it. He didn't see it. The referee has to put the axe on. And Larry, Saito, look at this. Oh, no. Bockwinkel slugging his man.
Nick Bockwinkel certainly as intelligent a wrestler as there is in wrestling anywhere. Nick Bockwinkel knows what to do when he gets a man in trouble.
Here we go. Watch this. In the rope. A swing and a miss. A punch. Good. Tag out now, Larry. Look, he did it.
Gonna bring Bockwinkel with him. Look out, Ringo.
Oh.
Larry Hennig takes total control. Hello, turnbuckle. Nick Bockwinkel doesn't know where he is right now.
Larry, watch him. He got both of them. Smashes them.
Down go Bockwinkel and Saito. Snapmare. Elbow to the throat of Bockwinkel. Goes to the cover. Here comes Saito. There's the eye gouge. Breaks it up.
Saito is illegally in the ring. He's been pushed out by the referee. Larry the action is twisting the leg. An ankle of Nick Bockwinkel, former AWA heavyweight champion of the world. And the big man from Minnesota. 300 plus pounds. Close to 4. But Saito in the corner. Oh.
Larry Hennig can put pressure on the leg anywhere he wants to in this hole. On the ankle, on the hamstring, anywhere. And he knows it and he's good at it. Now he's going to take Nick over to his corner and keep an eye on him.
He pulls Bockwinkel over 260 pounds like a feather.
That will snap a hamstring, that maneuver that he just
The
pulled.
match hit it, pumped it real good. The match would be over. That's a leg split.
Yes, stretching.
That was a famous old Big Gene could have stayed. He could twist your leg right off. Canada's greatest athlete, Big Gene.
Curt Hennig coming back in. They're going to go.
Larry.
Both hamstrings. Nick Bockwinkel on the receiving end of that. And now look at that spinning toe hold. Curt puts it into a step over toe hold.
And the referee asking Bockwinkel if he wants to give the match. A match could end with a submission or a pinfall or disqualification or a man counted out.
Now there's a leg hold. I don't know what they call it.
Well, it's a figure 4 leg lock.
That hold is the figure 4 leg lock.
Right.
Okay.
And it could be switched to another hold, but right now he's holding on to that. Bockwinkel wants to get out of it.
Bockwinkel, of course, famous for any number of things that he can do with leg holds. And perhaps that's why they're going for Nick's legs rather than his arms. Maybe that's why they decided that that's the point they should attack.
They have a battle plan, that's for sure.
Because Nick can use that grapevine toe hold of his, a grapevine leg hold, put an end to a match anytime.
Oh! Down goes Bockwinkel. And you're right. I think the hamstring is close. Step over toe hold.
Larry Hennig putting it on now. Bockwinkel has got to get to his feet, which is tough to do when someone's got one of them tied up on you. Now he'll squirm for the ropes or the tag.
He's not reached it. He's going closer.
Well, Larry Hennig is going to cause a distraction. The tag is made, but the referee isn't going to allow it. He did not see it. And now Curt and Larry make a switch.
On the hamstring again.
I don't know how much longer Nick Bockwinkel can take this heat on his legs here and be able to walk and be effective at all. Now look at that. Draped his leg over the rope and then came down on it with everything he had.
Bockwinkel's got to get to his partner, Mr. Saito, if he wants to stay in this match.
He is in serious trouble. And right back to that leg split goes big Larry the Action and 340 pounds of him, putting pressure on Nick Bockwinkel's legs.
I tell you, this is one of the best teams, the Hennig father and son, that I've seen in a long, long time.
Now, Bockwinkel is going to that wristband that Larry Hennig is wearing. I don't know what his idea is there, but I'm telling you.
He's grabbing at anything now.
Don't underestimate Nick Bockwinkel. Oh, wow. Knee right down into the inside of the leg. And now look at this.
There's 300 plus pounds across the throat. The average man would be in the emergency ward right now.
Ref made him break it. Larry had his own unique way of doing it.
He didn't make the tag. No tag. No tag. He's trying.
Just can't get there. Hennig taking it back to the corner. Larry Hennig and leaving him for son Curt, who comes in and immediately goes right back to work on those legs.
And Curt's fresh. He's been on the apron, taking a rest. Got his wind back. He's got a toe hold on the mat. Bockwinkel is down. He's going to try and crawl, rip his man, tear the eyes, do anything he can. He wants to get to Mr. Saito. And Hennig, he's got the Saito.
He made it with that eye gouge.
Saito is in. He gets kicked. Hits it again.
Curt Hennig not impressed with Mr. Saito's credentials were intimidated by them. Goes right to work. Wow, up and over. I mean, he went way up off the ground on that one. And here comes the axe.
The axe is fresh.
First the ribs, then the forehand. Now he'll take him to the ropes. That elbow, that devastating elbow of Larry Hennig, falls with it, covers. Bockwinkel comes in and breaks it up.
Oh, Bockwinkel made the save there.
Well, that's what they call a tag team. Collision, both men.
First time we've seen the big axe down tonight.
Well, what are you going to do?
Saito makes the move first. He's reaching over. He's trying to grab the rope and pull himself up. Or try and reach. Bockwinkel encouraging him. He's going to throw in something.
Saito to his feet, down with that chop. Now there's that heart punch that he uses so well. That'll take everything out of him. Saito with the savage heart punches, and that's a very underrated weapon. It doesn't look like it's doing all that much, but it takes a lot out of anybody.
That's right, you can't breathe. Bockwinkel holding it now. They're doubling up on the big axe. And comes the sun. Curt, they're pushing Curt out, and Saito and Bockwinkel pounding away on big Larry the axe hitting in the corner. They have him dropped Bockwinkel. Astride him, 260 across the neck. And they're choking him on the rope. He can hardly breathe. They're wearing him down, wearing the big man down.
What you got to do when you got an opponent that weighs 340 pounds, Curt Hennig, all he's doing now is distracting the referee and causing his father problems. Saito in the ring where he's supposed to be. Bockwinkel choking the very life out of Larry the Axe Hennig, which he is not supposed to be doing. Now Larry looks like he's barely able to be on his feet, and here come the chops of Saito.
And you can hear them and feel them.
Perhaps the most devastating chops in the business. This man has absolutely no feeling of mercy.
No, Bockwinkel is choking him. Saito choking. The referee's pushing out. The sun is being pushed out. They're choking the big ass. Bockwinkel. And he makes a legal tag. Very, very open to the referee after they did the deadly work.
Well, Nick Bockwinkel will go for the cover here. I don't think he can get it in this situation. Again, if you don't hook the leg on somebody like Larry Hennig, if you let him get his arms under there, he's going to power out of that one every time.
And the ring moves. I felt the ring move.
Now Bach is trying to put his head in there again, but it ain't going to happen. Uh-oh.
Come on, Larry and Curt.
Pounding left and right. He throws a left as good as a right. He picks him up. He bodies. No, a backbreaker. Covers him. 1, 2, whoa.
Well, he got the leg that time.
Almost.
Bockwinkel wasn't softened up quite enough. Nick Bockwinkel is resilient wrestler.
Slingshot in the rope.
Oh.
One in the midsection.
Curt Hennig on the attack.
A little savate kick. Why?
Hey, Chop. Get him, Curt. Get him, Larry.
They pick them up, taking them. They swing them together.
Ding.
Way to get introduced. Nick Bockwinkel and Mr. Saito in trouble. Curt Hennig working on. Wait a minute.
Oh!
Ding.
The best laid plans of mice and men. Double. They're going to shoot. Go. Two atomic drops. One for each. Now it's down.
Who is legally in the ring now?
I have no idea. I believe Curt Hennig and Nick Bockwinkel are legal combatants. There's the body slam. Go for the hook the leg, Curt.
2.5.
Curt shaking his head.
Nick Bockwinkel will take him to the ropes.
Oh, the ring moved again.
But Saito's there to save the day. They're going to run Larry back to his corner.
Saito's starting up on the top rope. He's way up. He hits the man on the head. His opponent.
Top rope with a chop. Lights out for Curt Hennig. Bockwinkel barely able to roll over. Got a 3 count. I believe, yes. Larry Hennig
trying to get there.
Okay, we're gonna stop sharing there. Yeah, they actually did lose that match, but that's okay. Hey, you come back and you win another one. So next week we'll have another episode. That is it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I did like that match only because you heard Curt going, "Come on, Axe." I would have been like, "Come on, Dad, let's go!" Right? No, I'm sure that it delighted Curt to no end to have his, to wrestle with his father in a tag team, double axe attack as they were called. Again, next week we will have another episode. We will do a main event. I'm not sure what that main event will be, but we definitely will do a main event then. And thank you so much for joining me. And we will see you next week for another Curt Hennig match in AWA. Again, thank you so much for joining me. And like I said, please comment, share. Again, if your comment gets deleted, it is not me that's doing that. I don't think Rumble does that. So you may want to just hop over to Rumble and leave a comment. That is fine. Again, I will not delete anything on Rumble or YouTube. Excuse me. YouTube, though, may delete your comment. But that's up to YouTube. That is not me at all. Okay. So, again, if you will, please comment, share, like, give this to all your friends. Tell all your friends about Curt Hennig. Nobody beats Curt Hennig. Nobody. And if you want to, I do have an X. Again, everything is in the description field. If you like to follow me on X, follow the show, not me. But if you want to follow the show, but I am always on X. It is me on X. I don't have someone who takes care of my X for me. I don't have enough money for that. Not yet anyways, right? But yes, it is me. I do control my own X account for all my shows. So all three of my shows, if you would like to watch Whispers of the Craft, which is we talk everything Wiccan and Pagan, the links are in the description field for that X. I do all three of my X accounts. It is me that you will be talking to. If you'd like to follow me on X, that's fine. If you would like to watch my Wiccan show, again, all about Wiccan and Pagan, Pagan and Wicca. If you would like to learn more about the subject, again, Whispers of the Craft, I am on YouTube and Rumble. You will get to see my beautiful face. So join me over there. If you would like to have a tarot reading or you would like to check out my tarot reading channel, if you would like a personal reading, you may message me. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'm a little busy, but that's okay. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and I will give you a detailed reading. I actually got some new Oracle decks, and I'm getting some new Oracle decks. One is Isis. I was like, ooh, it's dedicated on Isis. And then I saw a Kali Ma tarot deck. It was an Oracle deck. I was like, ooh, I gotta get that. So I have some fun decks and some really cool decks, I think. The Princess Bride is coming out in May. They have a Princess Bride tarot deck. I can't wait to see it. And I will share it on my tarot channel. I will actually do an episode where I just show a bunch of tarot decks that I have. But I do weekly readings for now. Like I said, if you would like a personal reading, you always can DM me on X, or you can, I think there's an email. I can give that out if you wish. I don't know if I can put it in the description field, but I will try to get you that email where you can email me a question. You can pay me through PayPal, or you can pay through it's PayPal and Cash App. So, and I think they have like a little note section where you can put your question and your name if you wish. So that is available. It is $30 a question, but I go into a lot of detail. Okay, so details. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Again, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you wish, and we will be back next week with another episode of Nobody Beats Curt Hennig. Nobody. I am your host, Mrs. Witchy Perfect, and remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. Bye, guys. Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello, and welcome to the Shameless Plugs. I wanted to do an updated version because I no longer have Patreon. I don't know if anyone has seen, and down in the description field, The first shameless plug I would like to do is for my Cash App and my PayPal account. If you can donate, please, please, please donate today. I actually had one donation, but that was more for my birthday. So anyway, if you can donate, please see the links in the description field for my PayPal and my Cash App. I'd like to start off by saying also, and I will say this at the end, I have an AI outro that is AI generated. I actually made a country song dedicated to Curt. I made several. Just in case there also maybe in the future or right now is going to be an AI intro. So I just want to let you know that the intro also could be AI, and this is for Amazon. Excuse me. This is for YouTube only. YouTube only. So the first shameless plug I would like to do is Kit Cabello. He is one of my great, great friends. Excuse me. I love him to death. And what a great man, great guy, all around great friend as well. You can catch him on Heartlands Media. That's 9 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday. And he will tell it like it is. Trust me, he will tell it like it is. Can't say enough great things about Kit Cabello. Also, check out Angel Riviera. He is in Angel in the Afternoon. And of course, he is my host for Pro Wrestling Talk. Pro Wrestling Talk is every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though those are scheduled to change due to family issues or WrestleMania or a pay-per-view. Also, I would like you to, but definitely check out Angel in the Afternoon. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he also tells it like it is. Way to go, Angel. Okay, on to deconstructing topics. My big brother, Dave. I can't say enough great things about Dave. He is a big supporter of mine, and I'm a big supporter of him. If you check out Deconstructing Topics, he has his own show. I'm not sure what episode he's on right now, but he has a great podcast. Please, please, please listen to it. You can check it out on YouTube. I don't know if he's on Rumble, but I'll see if I can get a Rumble link. All these links are in the description field if you want to check these people out. Also, I'd like to mention my little kid brother, Alex Knight. We are actually not really related, but I see him like a little brother. So anyway, Alex Knight, you can find him on Angel in the Afternoon. You can also catch him on Pro Wrestling Talk. And I think he's going to do a baseball podcast with Angel as well. So check that out. That'll be on Sundays. I'm not sure the time. I'll have to get that from Angel later. But I just want to make sure that you check him out because he is a great person and someone I can call friend and little brother. The next shameless plug I'd like to do really fast is Black Magic Talk is my other show, guys. If you would like to check that out, all you have to do is click the link in the description field, and blessed be to you if you are also a witch, wizard, or warlock, or whatever you call yourself. You can check that out in the description field. We have a lot of fun over there. I love to have on special guests, especially Sonia Smith. She's a very dear friend of mine. I hope you will subscribe to all these people on YouTube or on Rumble. We are also on Rumble. The Rumble description field, the link is in the description field. Sorry. If you would like to check that out, this will be going on YouTube, of course, because I don't need this for Rumble. I could put it on Rumble. I think I might. So if you are on Rumble watching this and you would like to see the YouTube version of this, it's mostly audio that you will see, except for this part, right? Just check us out on YouTube. The link is in the description field. And again, if you want to check out Black Magic Talk, you can check that out too, where we talk everything pagan and Wiccan. There is no evil or black magic, of course. It's all great fun, and we have a good time. If you like a personal tarot reading from me, click the link in the description field below. I can get you my, my pricing and stuff. If you would like to be a guest on the Black Magic Talk, or if you'd like to be on Pro Wrestling Talk, you can DM me on X. My X is in the description field for both Black Magic Talk and for Curt Hennig podcast. Go ahead and hit those in the description field and DM me, and feel free to ask if you'd like to be a guest. If there's anything else, concerns, or if you would like to just give feedback, you can always DM us on X and so on. Again, just want to mention my Cash App and my PayPal account are in the description field. If you can give to the show, great. If not, please enjoy the show. That's what we are mainly here for, just for your entertainment purposes only. And again, I will reiterate that the AI outro song is AI generated. That is for everyone, for Rumble and for YouTube. Also, there could be an AI intro song. Just want to let you know that if there's ever an intro song, it is AI generated on YouTube. I created a couple of songs here and there, a couple of country songs I think that Curt would like. So I hope you check those out. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect or Curt Hennig. Nobody.
I remember those nights in the TV glow, watching you a hero in the ring. With every match, you'd steal the show, making us believe in impossible things. Golden locks and a confident stride, wrestling through battles both big and small. With a perfect plex, you turned the tide, Mr. Perfect, you had it all. Oh, Mr. Perfect, where'd you go? In our hearts, you still steal the show. In a world that's moved too fast, your legacy's meant to last. Behind the glitz and all the fame was a man with strength and grace. Though we never knew your name, you left a mark time can't erase. I can still hear that entrance theme echoing through arenas and TV screens. A legend in his prime and dream, you remain in all our scenes. Oh, on the nights when stars glow bright, I think of you and your fearless fight. Gone too soon, but still inside, Mr. Perfect, you are a guiding light. Oh, Mr. Perfect, where'd you go? In our hearts, you still steal the show. In a world that's moved too fast, your legacy's meant to last. Oh, Mr. Perfect, where'd you go? In our hearts, you still steal the show. In a world that's moved too fast, your legacy's meant to last. Behind the glitz and all the fame was a man with strength and grace. Though we never knew your name, you left a mark time can't erase. Though we never knew your name, you left a perfect, you were a guide.